Chapter 8: The Importance of Saying No. Welcome back. Today we'll continue our book, The Subtle Act of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Three things we'll consider in this chapter: rejection, boundaries, and trust. The chapter started with the story of Mark Manson wandering around the world feeling invisible while his friends were chasing after better values like having kids, starting a family, loving and paying bills. In 2001, he found himself in Russia. It was a total new experience for him. The people were different, the food, the culture, everything was different. One thing about the Russians is they were very blunt and they would tell how it is. That was when realization started settling in for him while he was in Russia. As opposed to the West, where we tell each other the things we want to hear, and basically just lie to each other. It's different in Russia. They tell each other how it is. They are very blunt, even if they are going to hurt your feelings. It says here, travel is a fantastic self-development tool because it extricates you from the value of your culture and shows you that another society can live with entirely different values and still function and not hate themselves.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
That's the Russia lifestyle.
Yeah.
You just explained to us. Yeah. To buttress that, the downside of this is that you never know in the West if you can completely trust the person you're talking to. Sometimes this is the case even among good friends or family members. There is such pressure in the West to be likable. That person often reconfigures their entire personality depending on the person they are dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. So you just want to put yourself out there to be cool,
to be lovable.
Yeah. Easily accessed and saying good things about people. Next thing we'll be looking at rejection makes your life better. So and it says we need to reject something, otherwise we stand for nothing.
Yeah.
And this relates to our daily life, really.
Yeah.
When life throws something at you, are you going to reject it or you're going to accept it? The choice of friends we have.
Yeah.
So there are some set of people that come to us to be friends by default. Are you accepting them?
Yeah.
Do they match up to your values, your standards?
Because basically it's not everything that you're going to accept. And
and
it's not everything that you're going to reject.
Exactly. I want to read out this point. The act of choosing a value for yourself requires rejecting alternative values, basically. So if you are choosing a particular value for yourself, there are some other values that you're going to reject, basically.
Yeah.
The point is that we must give a fuck about something in order to value something.
Yeah.
And to value something, we must reject what is not that something. To value X, we must reject non-X.
Yeah. For example, to value honesty, you must reject dishonesty.
Yeah. So everybody needs to know your values, what you stand for. There's not like, don't move close to that guy. He will not accept.
He's an honest person.
He
won't accept bribe. He won't do this. He won't do that. And let that be known for you.
Yes, basically. That rejection is an inherent and necessary part of maintaining our values and therefore our identity. We are defined by what we choose to reject, and if we reject nothing, we essentially have no identity at all.
No, basically.
So like you said, let people know you
for something.
If they don't know if everything they bring dishonesty, you accept it.
And when we are talking about something, it has to be good values.
Basically,
right?
It has to be good values. Rejection is an important and crucial life skill. Nobody wants to be stuck in a relationship that isn't making them happy. Basically, I know I don't want to be in a toxic relationship. I don't want to be in a workspace that I'm not excited to go to.
I'm not comfortable.
I'm not comfortable with. No, it's not good for our mental health. Basically. And the next thing we are talking about is the boundaries.
Yeah, it was a story about Romeo and Juliet, basically. But when you think about it, I mean, the story portrays love, but in the book, when you think about it, it says they are both just basically out of their mind,
Yes.
right? They are just both chasing things that are not of value to them, but they think it's of value to them at that
Yes,
moment.
at that moment.
Yeah. William Shakespeare is not trying to portray love. He was just trying to portray how stupid they both were,
Yeah.
right? And because they just both died for nothing, right? And that applies to us at some point in life when we chase after things that are not of good values to us. And this has stretched us to our society today when we crave for some kind of love, some kind of strong love, some kind of acceptance, right? That was what happened between Romeo and Juliet.
To buttress what you just said, that there are healthy form of love and a healthy form of love. An healthy form of love is based on two people trying to escape their problems through their emotions for each other. In other words, they are using each other as an escape. Healthy love is based on two people acknowledging and addressing their own problem with each other's support.
Yeah. If I have a problem, and I mean we are both in a relationship, right? And I acknowledge my problem, and you acknowledge that is healthy relationship.
And I'm there to support you navigate through that problem. And this happens in our society too. You see some toxic love, unhealthy love,
that
and
people don't want to address.
Yes, basically.
They don't want to accept it.
They don't want to accept it. Boundaries, I mean the delineation between two people's responsibility for their own problems. People in a healthy relationship with strong boundaries will take responsibility for their own values and problems and not take responsibility for their partner's values and problems.
Yeah, same thing we just said right now.
People in a toxic relationship with poor or no boundaries will regularly avoid responsibility for their own problems and or take responsibility for their partner's problems. So, like, I'm not doing something that is right. Messing up, and you told me, oh, you're not doing this right. I'm not. No, it's because I'm not taking responsibility. I'm not taking responsibility for what I've done wrong.
Any little thing, people try to look for the next person to push the blame with, instead of just accepting and taking responsibility.
We move on to how to build trust. So Mark Manson pointed out that he was in a relationship with his wife where he doesn't have to censor his words with his wife. And whenever he messed up, whenever he doesn't do anything right, his wife walk up to him and tell him, oh, you've done this wrong. You're really messing up this big time. And they both come to an understanding. So I'm going to read this part. It says, if two people who are close are not able to hash out their differences openly and vocally, then the relationship is based on manipulation and misinterpretation, and it will slowly become toxic.
Yeah, there's a saying or an adage from where we come from that says, if two friends enter a room and they both come out laughing, there's something toxic between them. There's something they are not telling each other.
But if they come out, they are frowning. Yes, you've spoken some senses.
You would know that they have ironed
spoken some senses into
themselves,
into his head, and he's willing to acknowledge that I've really messed up and I need to change, basically. Then we move on to freedom through commitment. And he says, basically, the more options we are given, the less satisfied we become with whatever we choose, because we are aware of all the other options we are potentially forfeiting. So, for instance, now, if we are given the options to pick between US or Canada, you pick one. Oh, I want to go to Canada.
But when you have various options,
like 10 options, and you finally pick Australia, and when you get to Australia, you'll be like, oh,
maybe I should have picked France.
Or you are worried, Australia is not giving you the best, maybe it's France that will give you the best, or Canada and all of that. Or if you have a lot of job offers, you don't know the one you're going to pick for. You are worried, or you're someone that have gone to about 10 date nights, and you finally picked one. Oh, maybe number 2 of my date night will have been the best options and all of that. But when you have limited options, you will be committed to whatever you pick.
Your options are streamlined.
Yes, basically. So my take from this chapter is, honesty is a natural human craving, but Part of having honesty in our life is becoming comfortable with saying and hearing the word no. There's no harm in hearing the word no. In this way, rejection actually make our relationship better
Yeah.
and our emotions and our emotional life healthier. To me, hearing the word no or when someone say no to you, because I just feel that's not the best for you. You're still going to get the word yes,
Yeah.
and it's going to be better
Yeah.
than what you think you really desire, really.
And for me, I'll read this out. Commitment gives you freedom because it hones your attention and focus, directing them towards what is most efficient and making you healthy and happy. Yeah.
True.
So when you are committed to something, it gives you freedom. Your mind is focused on that thing. Like when we said the other time, 5 to 10 options.
To pick from.
It will be difficult to commit to 10 options. But when your options are limited and are streamlined,
and you pick one,
yeah, you can hold on to one thing and be committed to it. Thank you so much for going through this chapter with us. We hope to see you in our next video. My name is Tosin.
My name is Folashade. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till we see you in the next video. Bye.